Yeah, just started.
All right, great. Hey guys, this is Vinny here, and we have our co-founder Vladimir. This is AMA number 7, and the focus is on base. So our launch is coming up. We'll give you more details about that, but all eyes on our base launch. So yeah, we'll do a chill AMA. Let's focus on the same topics as usual. So we'll start off with the base launch, development, marketing update. Then we'll move on to like other development news. We have our Weave VM news, which is official. We'll give you a sneak peek of what we've been working on for alpha alerts. So our alpha alert system, we have some progress there. There's obviously some other meme/NFT news over the last few weeks, so we'll go over that as well. But yeah, maybe we can kick it off with our base plans, Vladimir. So yeah, it's been a while since our last AMA, so maybe you can bring us up to speed on what you've been working on and when we expect to go live on base.
Yeah. So we start, I think, like with announcements. So base officially goes live in 24 hours. Yes, so we are launching tomorrow. Yeah, we did it.
24 hours, yep. That's excellent. It's yeah, I mean, it's going to be a slow cook. Like, this is not like some sort of TGE token generation event. This is an expansion of the token. And, when you do this, you want to kind of baby step into it because there's steps you got to take. Obviously, you're opening up a bridge and you kind of want to see how the market reacts to it. We do have some news lined up. We have some things we've built for the base community that we want to roll out. And yeah, there's certain like on-chain actions we need to take. There's trending campaigns, there's marketing, there's volume, there's there's other things we have to kind of roll out. And
yeah.
I think if we do it all at once, it's a bit overwhelming, and it actually opens us up for mistakes. So there's a process for doing this, and we'll walk you through it step by step. Let me just pull up the governance proposal here in case we need to recap any of this stuff. 1 second. Snapshot. DAO. First of all, does anybody need like a quick recap or like context on what we're doing when we're expanding onto base?
I think for viewers who will be watching like afterwards, we still can like mention that we have multiple reasons. Yeah, but basically like the key one is that transactions are cheaper on base. And that means like two things. So first of all, a lot of money and trading volume like are already on base. So some people are just moved from Ethereum to base. Those who want to stay on EVM, like don't use Solana for some reason. And cheaper fees means that the volume is generally higher, and there are more possibilities to do on-chain activities with like AI tools. So right now, all of our stuff, like all of our AI tools, they are like off-chain. You need to hold token and you need to log in with your wallet to confirm your user tier, but that's it. And once we're on base, we'll be able to first of all, let people trade with cheaper fees, and at the second time, unlock more features and possibilities for on-chain AI stuff.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, there's like token activities that we can do moving forward on base, DeFi activities, gamify. We can build new things that relate to AI that are more on-chain, that are kind of prohibited right now on Ethereum. There's obviously more partnerships we can work on. We're already in talks with multiple base communities. One of them is a pretty large one, and we've already built something for them, which actually maybe we can tease actually here. In the next few minutes. There's obviously volume, right? It's a bigger community. It's I think base is hungry for like projects like this. Yeah, because a lot of Base is like memes, right? I mean, I dabbled in Base pretty early on, like when they first launched, you know, Toshi and Mochi and some of these initial like meme tokens popped off. Obviously Brett as well, but yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of like token / AI projects. There were a few like unique ones, like Circle was pretty interesting, but I haven't seen anything that serious since. We did reach out to Base AI, but you know they seem like a pretty quiet community. But that's a project like that is a potential API partner / client as well. So yeah, there's like partnership potential. There's more token potential. Our tech as well. So we can integrate with more Base on-chain data. Maybe Vladimir can give them an update on like our token audit for Base tokens. Some of our data integrations for Base, for Base data as well.
Yeah. So for token audit specifically, right now I believe it's completely identical to Ethereum. So like it's full-fledged in terms of features and data that we are checking. And if we are going to update it soon with much more stuff. And we also support like Base AI tech on all of our apps. So like be it an API or web app or Telegram bot, of course. In every place we like check your balance for both like Ethereum AI tech and Base AI tech, and they're fully equivalent. And also like in DAO, of course, like in all of those like four places, I believe we track like for those tokens, and they are like fully equivalent. So like holding $200 of AI tech on one chain and like $300 of AI tech on another chain will always sum up, be it a DAO vote or be it like a user tier, be it like using an API. Yeah, so we are fully multi-chain, and I really like how seamless it ends up being for the user.
Yeah, maybe we can go over like the actual process of launching. So when we go live tomorrow, what can everybody expect? We'll publish an article which has our Base contract address. It'll have a link to the official Base bridge, which is Superbridge. I know there's multiple bridges out there, but Superbridge is the main one that we've tested. So yeah, we'll publish like an FAQ / instruction manual. We'll give you a link to Uniswap v3. There's also Base scan link as well. Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing that will be listed there as well. So there's like one of the 2 official base chain bridges. Yeah,
It'll be listed there. Yeah, thanks to Optimism. Also, we're listed on the token. I guess you want to talk about CMC, CG, and Dex Screener, Vladimir, or do you want to wait till it's official?
Yeah, it's like kind of already official. So yeah.
Yeah, it's public. Yeah. So yeah, our CMC, CG, and Dex Screener are updated with the Base information, Base token information. But we'll push out that news more aggressively tomorrow. So yeah, I guess what can they expect tomorrow? They'll see the news. We'll put it live, and then they're free to use the bridge, and that's pretty much about it. Just use the bridge if you want. I mean, obviously, if you like Ethereum, stay on Ethereum, right? This is about allowing people to stay in the communities that they prefer, right? Obviously, the Base community is going to want to stay there. There's no reason for them to bridge over to Ethereum, just because we have a bridge, and vice versa. So it's about setting up, different homes for different people for different use cases, and we'll do some marketing. We'll have a couple announcements. CG will do a a Base trending campaign and publish some news. Vladimir, do you want to tease the bot that we've been working on? Maybe the demo group, we can screen share and show off some of that, or is that a bit too early, you think?
Yeah, I think like go ahead, because some people has accidentally
used it.
Yeah, already.
Okay. On my end, or do you want to do it on your end?
Yeah, please do it. Like Go ahead. I think
on
like
my end.
you tried like
Yeah.
more.
Okay. 1 second, guys. Let's make sure there's nothing proprietary on my screen. Or embarrassing, I guess. All right. 1 second. So let me just open up this Telegram chat. Open new window. Okay, great. Sharing screen. Let me know when you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so obviously this example here is like not the best first impression. Brett having monkeypox. I guess it's topical. It's pretty gross. I can't even look at this right now. Anyway, so yeah, basically we've developed, we've been custom training Brett the character and other Matt Fury characters in our image models. And I say image models because we're using a blend of many different models. So we've been custom training Brett as part of our base expansion. And I mean, we probably created the best Brett meme generator like in the world. Like, you know, we've looked through their community's content and most of their memes are team created, which, you know, there's a few. It's not like a whole bunch and it's definitely not done at scale. And there's like community ones, which are more like Photoshop, you know, cut and paste type of things. But I mean, in my opinion, not to toot my own horn, but we've created the nicest, most dynamic, most contextual Brett image generator. And you could see some of these examples. Like, it's really clean. Like, I think, and it's like dynamic. So like it actually can conform to other characters. So let me just maybe scroll up and find a good example of this. So Brett with the backpack.
You can just click on pins.
Oh, the pins. Yeah, the pins are the best ones. So yeah, Brett with a laptop, chilling and vibing. Ghibli style living room. Oh, he spelled Ghibli wrong. So we have a bunch of like community members. Sorry, we have a bunch of testers from the Brett community in this group. So they've been helping us generate, you know, hundreds of memes and providing us feedback and helping us sort of tweak, you know, mistakes and issues. And you know, we're still working through it. So this is still V1, but you know, V2 will be really, really consistent. It's stuff like this I really like. It's like Brett mixed with like another character. I think the image generator, the meme generator, does a really good job of conforming to the second character in the prompt. Brett as Jesus walking on water. Brett riding a horse, beautiful landscape, angry face. Looks like the angry face is put on the horse instead of Brett, which is pretty funny, but that's okay. Fists in the air, American flag. So yeah, we probably have like 1,000 Brett memes that we've been going through. Oh, this is cool. 11 from Stranger Things. I know it's not like really consistent with the Matt Fury like lore, but it's okay. So yeah, we have a couple of different ways to hand this off to the community. Obviously, to the team directly would be ideal. That's an ongoing conversation. There's also a way to do it through the community itself. So these beta testers are, you know, pretty well known in the community. One of them is actually the artist for their PFP. So Brett has like a PFP. Yeah, the artist, you know, created that. We're in touch with him. So there's different ways to hand it over. But you know, I think this brings up another point, which is like when we create a meme generator for a community or a meta, we don't necessarily need permission, right? It's a permissionless space, and for the sake of expedience, what we can do is just, you know, in this spirit of like open sourcing things, we can just build it, right? If it's a big enough meta, big enough theme or a trend, whether it's Skibidi or like, Chudjack, Wojak, or even for like, the election season, right? When we have the ability to create Trump memes and political memes, we should just create it, refine it, and just put it out. So, AlphaKek is the developer of these different AIs or different metas, right? So we can say we're the creators of Brett AI, of Skibidi AI, of Chudjack AI, right? So the key is just to stack, all these different technologies, image generators, and just release them to the public, and essentially, allow those communities to use them, however they want. And that will lead to partnerships anyways, right? That's probably a better route towards a partnership than trying to formalize something, behind the scenes and wait for like approval or wait for green lights and negotiate all these complex deals. We would rather just, especially as we optimize things and streamline things, and we can pump these out like, within hours. It's better just release them. And then what happens is their communities will start using them, and those teams will come to us anyways to like work with us, right? So that's sort of the way we want to like move fast, break things, and just sort of make a name for ourselves in the space. So anyway, so continuing this Brett, AI, it's probably the best one we've done so far, and we're currently expanding into other Matt Fury characters because they're quite similar, right? They're flat designs, two-dimensional. So yeah, that's Brett AI, and pretty excited about releasing that as part of our base expansion. And we're talking to other base projects, one of which is actually it's a collective of different base memes, and it's going to be a nice way to tap into their ecosystem and have a way to be like a primary vendor, like a primary AI vendor for base memes. So anything you want to add to that, Vladimir, in terms of Brett and our meme approach?
I think I have just a couple of general comments. So yeah, as Vinny say, that this is like V1, there will be V2, and the idea is that like, yes, we discussed like announced previously alpha toolkit, alpha alerts, and everything like crypto related stuff is like of higher priority right now for at least like a couple of months of development. But of course, we'll be like doing some small incremental updates, like training new models in the background as well. And later on, we have ideas for 2 huge updates for like alpha visuals in general. And like each of those 2 updates will also really increase the quality of all the custom characters. So yeah, whatever we see, like we should just keep in mind that it's just like V1. You'll see like for whatever we see right now, be it like Wojak, Chudjack, what else we have? Brett, Skibidi, that's like all just the beginning. And we'll have like at least 2 more iterations, and each of them will be like a whole new level of quality.
Yeah, I mean, Remilia, we didn't talk about that one yet, but we're working on some like Remilia Corporation ecosystem, characters. There's a few others that are just like still in progress. We're still talking to their teams, but like a pretty well-known Solana mascot as well. But I do want to reiterate that this is not the priority anymore. Like the alpha alerts is number 1 priority, and Vladimir is going to tease a sneak peek of the alpha alert system that we've been developing. Trending tokens, global crypto stats, real-time data. Last point about the memes, the whole assembly line and the process is pretty much done. I mean, there are some things we can do to streamline the custom training and the onboarding of projects to create meme generators for them. Right now, it takes like a few days. It's mostly handled by our team. So, Valerie is the image, dev. That's Vladimir's brother, obviously. We can take it from like a few days of training to hours after some new workflows. But yeah, that sort of service is pretty much done. We're actually onboarding like a sales team right now, so to do outreach. So this sales team will basically reach out to like blue chip, projects and propose both custom meme generators as well as like NFT batch generation, which is another thing we want to talk about as well. After coming off the heels of Criminality and Nakati, we've really streamlined that process of batch generating NFT images in a way that like I don't think anybody's done yet, and it just makes the quality high, cost low, and speed fast. But that's sort of that pipeline is working. So now it's just a matter of scaling that. We don't want to make too many. We don't want to create any new products, create any services. This is enough. It works, and it's just a matter of scaling and onboarding, more projects into that ecosystem, of memes and metas. Cool. Any questions regarding base or our meme strategy moving forward? Okay. So yeah, do you want to talk about? Should we move on to, I guess, the rest of the recent news, like Weave, alpha alerts?
Yeah, so VVM stuff was like extremely exciting for me personally because like right now the market is
Weave VM, the EVM of Airweave.
Yeah, so this is a project launched like by our friends from Decentraland who are like who are developing stuff for Airweave since 2019, and they also happen to be like early holders of AICAC for almost a year now. One of the people who like found it early, and they're like holding their conviction backs, not the big ones. So their primary interest is Airweave, but we stayed in touch for like almost a year now, since September last year. And yeah, initially, like last year, we started with custom data integrations for them for Airweave. And now we received a grant for their new project, VVM. Yeah, so what VVM does is like EVM compatible network that also like offloads all the storage to Airweave. And basically you can still like write the same Ethereum smart contracts, but you have data storage that is like millions times cheaper than on Ethereum. And that's like really cool. And hopefully we'll like, once they launch, we'll use it probably for some our like AI on-chain tools as well. But for now, we are developing like custom AI tools for their developers, and we can't disclose like all the details of what exactly did we build for them. Well, actually, we can actually pinpoint like the exact use cases and like exact APIs. But the idea is that like we built a custom data indexer for Airweave wallets and applications data, all those like hundreds of millions of transactions. Or so right now, like so there are like a lot of them. 1.5 millions of blocks. I don't remember how many transactions, but like really a lot, hundreds of millions, if not like over a billion. And building a custom indexer for them, and of course there will be an API. But the coolest thing is that there'll be an integration of alpha chat on top of it. So like when developers want to get some specific data or API, they can like literally just ask the chat, like I want like this and this and this, and it will provide them with this data so they can use it like to build stuff they build. And that's like extremely cool because like market is all about meme coins right now, and we acknowledge it, and like alpha alerts is all about it. We will talk about this like in a couple of minutes. But like I personally as a developer, I'm really happy that we have like not just the grant itself, not just like the mining cloud and like opportunity to work with them, but just this like precedent, this idea that we are finally building like some AI tools for crypto developers, actually, like a custom AI tooling that's like the stuff that no one else builds. And I hope that was just like one very tiny step among like a lot like, more similar possibilities. And we certainly like explore other potential clients on Token 49, for example. Yeah, but the key idea is that like it was a pleasure to develop such kind of tech, and yeah, you will certainly hear more from us making like even more advanced stuff like AI tools for crypto developers, because like sooner or later crypto market will move towards utility again, and people who can like build such kind of tools will be like in high demand, I can imagine. And we are a team that like not only can build such kind of tools, but also now has a proven track of record of making it. So I'm really happy about this. And yeah, we have finished like building like most of the stuff for Airwaves. So this grant like spans over half a year. So it's about like developing service and then also keeping it up to date. We have built most of it. We are going to deploy it soon after launching on base. And yeah, now I'm already looking forward to building something more like that, but even more complex. This will be like really interesting. And I haven't seen anyone in the space actually building such kind of tools. Actually, like AI tools for developers on chains in like on chain space for some specific ecosystems. Yeah, and
Yeah,
once
and it's
people like once people in the space like realize that there's just a mere possibility of this, that like you can actually request from someone to get like a custom AI tool that helps in your development for your specific ecosystem. I think it will like change the game in how on-chain development is happening right now.
yeah, I mean it's bullish because it's definitely a big need for what you built, and yeah, maybe you can re-explain what it is without getting into too much detail and not disclosing things that are private. But it's bullish because it's definitely a gap in the market, and it's transferable, right, to other ecosystems. It's not something that we applied for. It's something that we were chosen to do. There was no application process. We have a great relationship with Arrowweave and their ecosystem. Well, Decent Land Labs developers in Arrowweave, and they're the ones who actually introduced us to the 4 Arrowweave ecosystem projects initially. So yeah, we have a great relationship with them, and we trust each other. We'll be doing a lot more business with them in the future. I think it also brings up a good point, which is like, do we need the grant? I mean, obviously, we're putting in work, so there should be compensation. But financially speaking, we're in a strong financial position. We don't necessarily need the grant, so we're going to actually hold on to the grant. We're going to hold on to that in our treasury, and hopefully it grows, because it looks like they're going to be quite a hyped ecosystem. Weave VM, and we're seeing some noise about them in different alpha groups, private whale groups. Their pitch deck is being passed around a lot. Pretty bullish. So we want to hold on to our grant. Think of it as our stake in their ecosystem. Maybe we'll invest more on a personal level. And yeah, financially speaking, if we go into a bear market, we're strong. Like our treasury is strong. We're not selling tokens to fund operations. We're not selling the Weave grant to fund those operations. It's really just an investment of our time, right? So if anything, a bear market might actually, we win either way, right? If we go into a bear market, a lot of vaporware, a lot of vapor will probably get cleared out, and the quality should rise to the top, I would imagine. So it'd be nice to to have less competition, less noise, and a lot more time to focus on building and launching new things at an even faster pace. So yeah, just letting you know, we're not going anywhere. We just incorporated, so we're actually expanding our team. I mentioned we're hiring a commission-only sales team that is working on our B2B outreach for all sorts of custom bot services, not only the image bots, but like the chat bot for community engagement, right? This is kind of like the whole PAL strategy, but also the API, right? So any platform, any tool that is currently using OpenAI or Anthropic, they can switch to us, as well as NFT generation, image generation. We'll discuss that a little bit later. And we'll be going to Token 2049 next month. We're going to Solana Breakpoint as well. Hopefully Vladimir's visa situation, like it gets approved. So I want to kind of temper, that a little bit, but I'm already, booked and ready to go. So we'll be doing a lot more networking then. This is really a point where now we're getting a lot of really solid traction, big names under our belt. The products and services are a lot more standardized and ready to scale. I feel great. I know volume on Ethereum, utility tokens are pretty dry across the board. Even Base is a bit dry, memes are just dominating, especially on Pump Fund. But I'm in the mindset of this is $100 million project. We got a huge rebrand launching next month. It looks extremely good. Very happy with it. They finished the visual identity of AlphaKek already, and now they're working on our homepage and a few landing pages. So I think once that goes out, it's going to be such a big divergence between like market cap and like the fundamentals of the project, like what it looks like. It's just going to be ridiculous, like how big of a gap that is. So, I can't imagine it not being filled up. So that's our mindset. Glad you guys are still with us, and the best is yet to come.
Yeah. We have a question in the chat from Eternal. I was like, will the whole Alpha AI turn into an interactive web app? And the answer is kind of related to what I wanted to tell about like what we are building for Alpha Alerts. So basically we are thinking about at least like we did a small announcement about like how Alpha Alerts should look like and about one small ongoing update. So like the first simple thing that we started from is adding more fundamental on-chain data into the like chat, because like right now, like before that update, it worked mostly in a way that you can ask about like some specific token or market sector, but you can't ask like really broad questions about like the whole market in general. And now we added like more such kind of fundamental data about like what specific tokens like are rising and pumping right now, or like what's like DeFi volume, global DeFi volume like versus Bitcoin dominance right now, etc. Just added those small simple things, nothing much, and it was just like one of the small steps towards like building a really huge data pipeline. Because like the issue with doing like any crypto related like AI alpha like alerts tool, if you want it to be like if you want them to really work, you need like a lot of data, and just feature engineering, setting up those data pipelines, aggregating like multiple data sources, parsing all this stuff into a convenient like way. It actually takes like most of the time that more time than the AI development itself. And we are getting towards like releasing like first alpha version just for AlphaKek chat first, and later on it will be available like in any other group chat as well. The first like beta or like alpha testing will start like in our group chat where we are currently having this call. And we have multiple tools that we want to like implement initially before like moving forward. The idea is to like implement those tools like in a form of early prototypes, like make them available as earlier as possible, so we can like test them out, try to trade with them, get feedback like from ourselves, get feedback from you, improve it, and like repeat this cycle like multiple times as quickly as possible after we launch on base. Yeah, so we have like one idea that I was thinking for a while that I like internally jokingly I call like social rating score for any kind of public colors. So like we have a lot of people like in Telegram and on Twitter who are promoting / recommending calling publicly investing some coins, and it would be really interesting to get like one simple quantitative measure to all of them to figure out like which one is better than the others, and like are they great like at all on average, or are they like mostly noise than the data. So yeah, that's like the first thing. We're gonna see like this social rating score for some specific pages, and then we'll see depending on like how useful the data would be. Like if it's at least somehow useful, we'll use it like as an additional indicator for alpha alerts. If it's not useful at all, we will I don't think we'll like get rid of it completely. We'll be like still probably like refresh on the data from time to time to check if like something in the market changed. And bear market is actually a really great time to test those kinds of to run those kinds of backtests, due to one simple reason: when everything's pumping, it's like really hard to determine whether like some specific personal indicator or algorithm like is actually working, or like is it working, is like this token went up because like this like methodology is great, or is it because the whole market is going up. Right now, when we in some sorts of bear markets, at least we can like test all this stuff and figure out what figure out like what is actually working. Yeah, so this is like the first step out of three. So second was directly like described in our previous post. It's about like setting up alerts, and the idea is to start tracking anomalies in not tokens themselves, but like in how accounts interact with them. In track like volume, volatility, a lot of other metrics, but mostly track try to extract information not from the tokens themselves, but rather from the wallets / accounts that interact on these tokens, be it like on-chain or off-chain. And the idea is that like first iteration of alerts will be available only for some pump fund tokens that will like filter using some other stuff that I'm not gonna reveal, at least for now. And yeah, so basically like the first iteration will be working just on pump fund tokens automatically and notify you when something weird in a good sense is happening with the token. So like there are millions of tokens launching on pump fund, and this way we'll just filter out to like a really small amount of tokens that are most likely to be interesting for you to trade. And once we test the system, make sure that we are happy with how it's working, we'll deploy like a second version of alerts that will work for every token, first Solana, but then of course like Base and Ethereum, that we allow you like have the same alerts but for any arbitrary token. And that's will be determined by user tier, I think. So basically like the higher user tier, the more tokens you can track at once, with some exceptions that I will share in the idea number 3. Yeah, but the idea is that like even if token like definitely has some potential, or like you are not sure about it at all, like 50-50. You can't like physically as a human to like track any token that has some potential. Idea as a like first iteration, instead of providing like the very specific list of like what to buy, just take the big list and first try to narrow down it, not just to like the amount of token like at all, but also narrowed in time, in a sense that like in like right now it's better to take a look at like at those specific tokens, and like in 3 hours later, like those tokens are more interesting to track, etc. To basically to save up your time and make and let you to analyze more tokens like in the same amount of time. Yeah. And third idea is kind of the biggest, and I'm gonna like it's the biggest, but I'm gonna share the least details about it, simply because like I don't want to share way too much about it. And first of all, because like probably there are some details that will be changed during the implementation of it. But once we have alerts and alerts available to everyone, the idea is to try build an AI model that will be using not just on-chain and off-chain on-chain data, but also your own feedback, like users of AlphaCake bot. And it will be working in two ways simultaneously. So on one, so it will be using your feedback, like whether this token is great or bad, as an input for determining like its own internal score. And at the same time, it will be also checking out whether you're like great at analyzing base tokens, or whether you're great at analyzing Solana tokens. And also this way figuring out like, okay, we have like those three users like voting like yes, and those three users voting no, but we know that like those three users like who voted yes, they are like more likely to make mistakes on base token. And this is a base token, so we should be suspicious, and etc. So then the idea is like build a like really complex system that takes on-chain knowledge and like your own expertise and tries to combine them together in the most efficient way. And once it also like determines which users are like the most efficient, which are like the most valuable in terms of like rating the token, will be also given some kind of incentives to those users as well. So they will be getting, for example, like more alpha data than the others, etc. So this is like the most complex stuff, and we'll figure out a lot in the process. And I think we are not going to share any details about it outside of the CMA for a while, until the first iteration is ready, because it's still like in development, and I don't want to share like too much details too early.
Vladimir, did you touch upon the strategy? Maybe this is saying too much, but how we want to track people, not assets. Like, can you kind of elaborate on that idea? If it's not too,
I briefly mentioned it like in the very beginning of volume, but also like those three, like all three ideas that I mentioned, they have one like bigger idea. They covered them. The idea is that like we should track like not the specific token, but rather how people interact with this specific token. Because like right now, when everyone is using the same templated like ERC20, or in case of Solana, I forgot how the token standard is called there, whatever. So like right now, everyone is using like same templated smart contracts, deploying into the same dexes. So like compared to like crypto, how it was like a few years ago, all this stuff is really uniform. And what's really matters usually is like who's backing some specific token, like what is the team behind them, or investors or inside traders or like people who are trying to do like community
Cabal.
takeover. Yeah. Or just organically, it's a great meme that started pumping like right now. The key idea is that, yeah, we should, rather than trying to find some new information in the same ERC code that like all of those contracts, including ours, have, we should take a look at how people interact with the project on-chain and off-chain and try to get some new information from there real time. Yeah, that's what our like most of our features will be targeted. And also, yeah, the idea is to at the same time for our like alpha kick users to try to build for them some kind of personalized AI that will be not just recommending some stuff to you, but also trying to figure out what are your like strong and weak sides and try to like counterplay them to make sure that like figure out where you like mistake more often and try to like prevent those mistakes in the future. Yeah, that's the big idea.
Yeah.
That's
Degenerati. Actually, yeah. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to ask. You can jump in audio as well.
Yeah, and like answering the original question of like Etemo about like interactive web app. I think like right now most of crypto related like trading and discussions are just organically happen on Telegram, like not just for Alpha Cake, but like in general, insiders group, etc., etc. And it just happens that like all of our community, most of our community, is here on Telegram, and we are like very very active. So I think for now on, until we have like version 1.0, it's like stable. It makes sense to like develop all this stuff in Telegram just so it's very easy to iterate. And later on, because like the thing is, we are still like launching new kinds of products from scratch. So like we didn't have alpha visuals, like we launched it, and we are not. It's not. We didn't have alerts. We are going to launch them. The idea is that like we are not, at least at the moment, like improving some older products, but we are constantly launching new ones. And as long as this is happening, it just doesn't make sense to start like building web app because like at some point of time later on we develop like something new on Telegram, and then we'll have to rework what we did for the web before even like finishing and like starting it over again. So as an example, we have Midjourney, who had like for the first like how many, I don't remember like how many years, but for the first 5 versions, Midjourney was only available as a Discord bot, and they had a team of like 13 people, like less. That's like extremely productive people and very smart people. Yeah, but still, they were like they had millions of users. They had a lot of traction and popularity before even launching any kind of app. And we believe that right now, when we still want to like iterate as quickly as possible, it makes sense to concentrate on Telegram, at least for now. Also because like probably some of the features for like alpha alerts will be related to Telegram. So for example, there certainly will be various integrations to Telegram sniping bots. And it just doesn't make sense to build a web app, at least right now. What I think we are going to do at some point of time is that Telegram bots now supports like built-in web applications, kind of like Hamster bot, for example, that everyone knows.
Hamster.
I guess, at this point. And I think that's the closest that will be like targeting for the short perspective. So it still will be like a Telegram bot, but probably there will be like a web view to see some additional information or source. So for example, you get a message about Alpha Alert, and if you want, you press the button, and it opens you like a web app inside Telegram, and it shows you some additional context. Yeah, I think like for now, that's what we are aiming for, not the separate web app. But yeah, the moment we like feel that we are like comfortable, that we like found the formula for how it should look like, and we know like, okay, we are not gonna build like any new services. We are gonna just improve the existing ones and like not stop like adding new things, improve what we already have. Once we reach that point, we'll start like expanding a web app, expanding Discord bot, maybe even building something for desktop. Who knows? Yeah. Until then, I think like the best way is just to like concentrate on one platform where we can like iterate the fastest way possible and just iterate until we are happy.
Yeah, the company and the products are changing too fast for a web app. It's going to slow us down. Plus, it's going to divert resources away from our main development. So now we're fighting a war on like 3 fronts, like, on the API, visual, and chat, but like it's like splinter between like 2 different things we have to maintain. I mean, even Discord is like enough, like of a separate side quest. The web app right now is like relegated to like verifying your token holdings for the user tiers. It's to check your API key, right? If you're a developer, and that's good enough. I mean, I know some people are using the web app because they like to save their chats, which is understandable. So that will stay, and in the future, I think once we kind of cool down a bit, we could probably put more attention to the UI UX of the web app. Like, I personally think that Perplexity has like the best AI research experience in the industry, well, in Web 2. And there's a lot of ways to sort of mirror that, I guess, like fork that. And I think that Perplexity UI UX fits very nicely with crypto research, right? Because Perplexity has sources for everything you search for. So it's really designed for like a researcher, academic, type of person. And they have a nice sidebar that has all the references. So I can visualize like our alpha chat in the future being like the Perplexity of crypto, where every single answer has a source. It has a link to the Etherscan or the whatever on-chain data it's referencing, or it's Web2 news, right? But I don't know if that's even profitable. Perplexity, like, I don't know what their profitability is like. Obviously, there's a lot of good product market fit. People really like it because it's an alternative to search, right? To like Google, as well as an alternative to ChatGPT, which is a lot simpler and like less, research focused. So there's definitely a niche there, but it's still a question mark. Like, do people even like to research crypto through that kind of, UI UX, or do they prefer alerts, right? So that's sort of why I think it's worth just waiting until we really define like, all of our products and services first. Let me answer Degenerati's message. Where is it here? Okay. Degenerati. Go ahead.
Just one more tiny thing, like follow-up message from Temu. Basically, like the second half of it. AlphaCat bot could also use many features of the new Telegram updates, and we're keeping an eye on all of them. So the coolest, so there are basically like 2 big things about like new Telegram bot updates. So the first one they already mentioned is that like you now can embed web apps directly into the bot, and we will certainly start adding some stuff later on for alerts, because, for example, for charts, you get like a text message with some details for the token, and for example, an interactive button, and when you open it, you just like get some like visualization of what's happening, because like you can embed this information into the text message. So yeah, that's like the first of the stuff that we'll absolutely for sure cover, just like a bit later on when we a bit like settle down of what exactly data is like and insights do we have, what do we want to provide to users. Second thing is that like we are still considering is that now we have like those Telegram stars, and that means that like if there are people who for some reason don't want to buy our token but would like to use our services, that means that we can charge them Telegram stars and then just spend them on buybacks for the token. So like no one, so like everyone gets their profits. So if people for some reason don't want, like for example, they are Solana only or Tom chain only, like Telegram maxes, we can provide them an option to just use like the stuff they want to use. And now when, yeah, as Vinny said, we are like officially incorporated, we can officially charge them for the service and then just use those revenues for buybacks. So yeah, that's like another stuff that we have briefly covered. Like we keep it in mind, but we don't have any like specific plans for it just right now, because it's better to like develop all those services that I just described, and later on, based on the usage, etc., we'll figure out what would be the most profitable way. Because like it could be that some of the alerts will be, for example, free, but instead we'll have like partnerships with sniping bots or something like that. So we'll figure out what's the most profitable thing for the token, and we'll just stick to it.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good time to summarize like what our revenue channels are, or sorry, our profit channels are. It's obviously the tax, API, custom bot solutions. So now we're charging, or trying to stick to this as much as possible, but half an ETH to 1 ETH per custom bot. So, you know, custom bot is like, it's alpha kek bot. We fork it, some customizations, we charge half an ETH. This could be like on the alpha chat side or a visual, you know, a meme generator, right? And then like if they want to go fully branded, you know, white labeled, 1 ETH. And, you know, there's a formula to this. Like we can come down on the cost if they have, you know, marketing exposure, and or if their training data, whether it's an image or a knowledge base, is simple as opposed to complex, right? To train. So, you know, there's a bit of a formula here to price things, but yeah, custom bots is revenue source, profit source. Vladimir mentioned affiliate commissions. So affiliate commissions are maybe like primary revenue source for like sniper bots, alert bots out there. So, you know, if you look at these alert bots, they have all these different links at the bottom to different sniping bots, different dApps and stuff. Those are all affiliate links, right? So a lot of these bots, that's how they operate, affiliate links. So we'll do the same thing over time. You've already seen our Wagey bot affiliate link in our messages. You know, they're a partner, and we can add more. We want to prioritize them, obviously, because yeah, you know, we've been friends for a long time, but we'll add more. NFT launches. So I guess we didn't talk about this earlier, but Criminalio, which is Fuxy's recent NFT launch, was a massive success. It sold out within like, it was like an hour or something. 3,333 pieces, which is a lot in this market, especially NFTs, right? It's kind of dead, right? NFTs. Really, the only thing is working well are like the Remilia universe and like maybe like Pudgy Penguins and Sappy Seals, which are like ETH whale, like insider plays. But basically, we developed an NFT batch generation tool internally because of this launch. And that's something we can use for future launches. And we actually already are. So we're talking to a few other launches that want to generate images at scale based on their particular character. We're not getting into like the actual artistry of it. We're not, you know, designing anything. We're just taking an artist or a project's existing base character or vision, and we're just helping them replicate that at scale, right? So we're not artists, right? We're AI devs that are scaling artists' work and saving them the grunt work of having to redraw it many different times, and actually improving upon quality too. So that's NFT launches, and our preferred way to generate revenue is taking a percentage of the mint and the royalties, which we have, and it's been profitable. Setup fee would be nice too, right? For all the training of the NFT batch generator. What else here? Did I miss anything? It's well, grants, obviously, right? We started on that. And you know, a lot of these revenue profit sources are different. Every deal is a bit different. Obviously, the tax is standardized. API is quite standardized. But we do plan to use a lot of this stuff, a lot of these profits for buybacks in the future. And you know, once we start to standardize more of the percentages, we can implement a DAO vote and have this actually go towards buying AlphaKek token and burning it, in addition to the tax. So that's pretty bullish. Okay, so to answer Degenerati's message, AMA is bullish. Thank you. Could you shed some light on the rebrand that was mentioned to take place in September? So it started months ago, and we're getting closer to the finish line. So the initial stage was more of the briefing, but we hired a pretty well-known firm in Greece that was referred to us from our whale, really good like collaborator. I mean, he's effectively part of the team at this stage. That's how we treat him. But yeah, very professional firm. They won awards. They finished the visual identity of the project. It looks awesome. So we have a bunch of video, clips that we can use for future ads. We have, just different assets, right? Images as well as video assets that we can use in the future. So it's going to be very coherent. And then now they're working on the new website, which is slated to launch next month. So that's pretty exciting. It'll probably take another month because we'll have to iterate a lot. Content, it's been a good creative exercise to refine messaging, figure out how to organize everything that we have, especially as new things that keep coming up that are created. But I think it'll reduce a lot of confusion about what is AlphaKek. K-Hole had a really good point, a really good messaging, a good way to explain the project by separating alpha and kek, which is alpha is like the investment trading, I don't want to say advisory because we don't give financial advice, but the research side of things, the alpha side. The kek is like the image meme side. That's a nice way to separate that. So you'll start seeing more of that duality in our website, in our messaging a lot more. Okay. Next topic. Yes, I guess I touched upon Criminalio. I think that's good enough to talk about Criminalio. Like basically anybody who wants to launch an NFT, I don't know who is doing that nowadays, but we have an amazing service for them. NFT image generation. It's actually on our docs page now. So we've updated our docs page. Take a look and you can share that with, whoever you talk to. Let me share my screen. So a few changes to the docs page. Meme generator, NFT image generation. Okay. We're going over an hour here, so it's getting pretty late where I am. You guys have any other questions? We got our heads down for this launch tomorrow, so we should get back to that. See if we have anything else we need to discuss. I think that's about it. Yeah, we mentioned the events coming up, Token 2049 in Singapore, Solana Breakpoint in Singapore. Yeah, if you guys know anybody going to those two events, let us know because we'd love to meet them. We're going to line up a bunch of meetings with different projects and companies. Token 2049, Solana Breakpoint. We're going to submit a lot of grant applications after base. So And we've barely submitted grant applications. We probably submitted like one. So there's like a million out there, which is great. Oh yeah, another bullish event is opening up the bot to the public. That's something I'm personally excited about. So you're going to be able to add the bot to whatever group you want. You're going to be able to have people DM the bot. You can DM the bot and work with the bot directly. So that should really improve like the sales funnel of like increasing touch points. You know, people need to get to know the bot. It's very hard to explain the project because it's like, you know, a bit high IQ, it's complex. You know, the best thing to do is just have people test drive it, right? It's like when you're buying a motorcycle, what does the motorcycle shop salespeople say? Just hop on, give it a try. How does that feel, right? So it's the same idea. Take a test drive, and that happens all the time. You know, when we talk to partners, to KOLs and stuff, it's like at a certain point we just tell them, hey, here's the bot, add it to the group. This is how you use it, and they're usually blown away and they get it after they test it out. Chops, anything more we can do as a community? Yeah, I mean, especially once the gating is like removed from the bot, share it far and wide. The reason why we can do that and not worry about cost too much is because we're going to start implementing a lifetime cap on free users. So whether that's like, what was the amount again? There's be a certain amount of messages where they'll be capped and then they'll be asked to upgrade to hodler tier.
69.
In groups, 69, that's exactly, yeah. And in groups, there'll be a daily limit on a group level. So how many messages they can generate, images as well. So that puts a cap on that. And I mean, costs are pretty low. Like we can actually lower costs even further, and we can in theory extend our runway like into infinity if we just like increase the wait time of our messages like 1.5 or 2x wait time. So our runway, like we could be here till we're like 80 years old if we just wait an extra like three seconds for messages. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So what can we do more as a community? So share the docs page. If you get meme projects wanted to create a meme generator, especially for larger projects that are not going to like die the next day, refer those to us because now it's being streamlined. We have a sales team now. We can hand them off. They'll onboard the meme projects. They'll talk them through the process. They'll ask for sample images. The sample images get sent to Valerie, who trains. We collect a fee. We ask for marketing support, etc. I guess NFT projects that are like legit, like NFT projects that want to launch, artists that want to launch NFT projects. I mean, some alpha here. We're actually talking to a pretty well-known influencer in the Bitcoin space who wants to launch a collection. And if this happens, it's both lucrative and bullish. Keep rating, guys. So like, as you saw recently, like Grok has the new AI, and they probably have a lot of firepower at Twitter, right? So they're having a lot of people tweet about it, like, oh, look, here's what you can do with Grok AI. You have this image of like Kamala Harris in a bikini and like Donald Trump standing all around her on the couch, like, so it's like stuff like that, it just goes viral, right? Do your version of that. So RC does a great job of that. Support RC. RC is rating. He's dropping tweets in the chat. He's shielding them. Support him. Do what he does. That's the best way to like spread the word. What else can the community do, Vladimir? Yeah, support RC.
Yeah,
just do whatever he does for rating.
And of course, whatever crazy ideas you have, feel free to always like share them either in group chat or in our DMs, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another gap I think is we just don't have enough time to talk to apps, tools, any sort of app or tool that uses AI. If they are using AI right now, or they have an AI roadmap, they're probably using OpenAI's API. or Anthropic's. Just tell them to switch to us. We'll give them free developer credits. Our API is OpenAI compatible. Literally just 3 lines of code needs to be changed. And it's actually better than OpenAI for financial use cases because our data integrations, we're already integrating on-chain data. We have all this, we're already fine-tuned for financial information. We're probably up to like 100,000 documents now of like financial data. And it's all constantly being integrated right into the knowledge base. It's a fractal in real time. So yeah, I think we really want to scale the API because it is a scalable product. Like we just don't have time to really market it as much as we want to. And that's on the docs page. Yeah, that's it for me, guys. Any last minute questions? We can wrap this up.
Okay, he says.
Okay, great.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, who was writing something? Yeah, best AMA so far. Yeah, I felt the same. I think it was because we had a break, so I'm not sure. Like, still, what's the best format? Whether we should like do monthly AMAs, but make them really intense like this one, or make them more often, but like less intense.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, we can daily. And it'll be a snooze fest. You can hear about what I'm eating for breakfast or something. So you can get micro updates from me. Well, micro updates. But no, I think it's also the best AMA because a lot of what we were working on is just behind the scenes and you're just not seeing a lot of it. And it's just like coming to a head now. It's like things are they're just like they're being wrapped up. It's just like we've been working on so many different things and they're all just kind of coming to fruition. It's like, we have a massive pipeline of things we're doing, and now they're revealing themselves finally on multiple fronts. Yeah, great guys. Talk to you soon. We'll publish this on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
All right, see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Take care.